Preston Mattingly became GM of the Philadelphia Phillies a year later in 2023, and he joins us live here at Chase Field. Preston, good to see you. How does a current big league GM assess the value of an event like this, the Combine?
Yeah, I think it's a tremendous event. You get to see kids on the major league field. And I also think the interview process here is great. You get to talk to 200 kids, get to know them. Almost like get an answer key for when they get into your system. What's the player plan look like when they get to you?
I've known Preston since he was 2 years old, and to see it, I'm so proud of what you've accomplished. I know your dad is. I got to play with him, but you look back at your background as a player. You played basketball in college. You did all these things to round out your ability to evaluate players and try to acquire better players. What are some attributes you took from your upbringing?
Obviously, how hard it is, number one, to get where these guys are at. And I think, I think tough players survive. You guys all know that. And I think, plus tools play, especially in this major league field.
Following up with Buck, the same part about your background, I always felt like somebody who ran a player development area is so well prepared to look at everything in baseball operations from a unique point of view. So with that background, transitioning in the role you have now, where does it lend yourself to actually the direction like you give your scouting department?
Well, I think as an organization some things you think you can help. Right, whether it's pitchers developing breaking balls, whether it's position players helping them make more contact or control the zone better. I think you identify what, as an organization, you can improve, and I think it helps give your scouting director, a good, when you get into the draft room of, hey, some guys that have maybe a little bit of flaws, you can improve.
Yeah, you haven't had any fear of taking high school kids with high ceilings, so I would think you're good at developing those kind of kids.
I think we feel really confident with all types of players, but I think, Brian Barber and our scouting staff, they do a tremendous job, and we're looking for high upside. We're looking for guys that can impact that major league field.
Preston, when you look at the job, evolving job as a GM / whatever, there's different terms they want to use to describe them. What do you think the biggest change and the biggest challenge of a GM in today's game is?
I'd probably say managing personalities. I just think as the game has continued to grow and has continued more notoriety for our players, salaries have continued to go up. I think just the personalities you have to manage on a day-to-day basis is one of the biggest things.
All right, so when I see a kid that catches my eye as I get ready for the draft, I send a text message to Harold Reynolds. I want to hear what he thinks about the same kid. Now, I know he's not, but your dad is your dad. Do you ever, hey, did you see this kid? Do you ever send a text message to your dad? Be like, what do you think of this kid?
Yes, obviously he's with the Blue Jays, so we're competing against him, but we've already completed our season series there, so I definitely will send him some videos, of young kids in Latin America, or guys here in the States, just get his take on his swing. Obviously he's been a tremendous hitter, tremendous player, and he has a great feel for hitters and young players, so try and bounce stuff off him.
Fascinating dynamic, because why wouldn't you lean in on a guy? Your father's got this lifetime of baseball experience, so but you've also got your own.
I love the part where he goes, he's with the Blue Jays. That's the competition. I don't take it too far. There's no secrets going there, Dan.
Preston Mattingly, I appreciate you stopping by and joining us here at the Combine. Thanks for doing it, man.
Thanks for having me.